Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Damage Report. No, I'm not bad at time management. Your clocks are all off by like 3 minutes, so fix your clocks. But anyway, today's Friday, and it brings a couple of things. One, pretty much every Friday, garbage people of the week will be coming. Should be fun. But who to throw away the garbage with? Well, we imported a fun little personality from Japan. Brett Ehrlich is going to be returning to the show, so that should be a lot of fun. He hasn't commented on the news in a couple of weeks, so God only knows what we're going to get out of him today. So very excited for that, and we're going to be going live with the full show in just 26 minutes. Now, we're going to have a short little pre-show here, so I'm not going to threaten you today with 1,000 likes. We'll probably do the main story anyway, but I reserve the right to change my mind at literally any time. So, get ready for that. I need to open one more thing. Damn you, Washington Post. Oh, they just ruin everything. Okay, well, we're gonna press on anyway. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into our numbers. We had sort of previewed this the day before. Hey, look at this. America, at least in terms of the reported cases, God only knows how representative it is, dropping below 30,000 cases for the first time in a very long time, which is good news. Test positivity rate down to 7.8%. That's dropped quite a bit over the last month. Hospitalizations have dropped below 25,000, still comparatively high compared to the cases that we have, and deaths actually rising overall. But again, remember, we had the artificial lows of a few weeks ago. So long story short, it still exists. Be careful out there. Okay, other news. It's really fast. Major U.S. oil companies raked in $290 billion in profits last year. That's 1 year, one industry in just one country. They estimate that it would be enough to obviously end world hunger. That would be no big deal for that amount of money. Pay off all U.S. medical debt, build 10 Disney Worlds. Instead, $163 billion of it was rolled back into stock buybacks and things like that. $290 billion in profits from the industry that told us over and over and over again that they couldn't do anything about the high prices. It's not price gouging. It's just, supply chain issues and demand and all that. Weird that the profits and the expenses didn't go up. Just the profits went up. So weird. I don't know what to take away from that. Anyway, I'm going to ask you perhaps a difficult question. I want you to tell me innocent or guilty, okay? Now, the crime is that this individual, I'm not going to say who it is, this individual has published letters that they received, private letters from notable individuals without getting their permission. So people like Jay Leno, Hillary Clinton published for their own personal profit without getting permission. Are they guilty or innocent for that? Should they suffer consequences? And now roll into your evaluation that it's Donald Trump that I'm talking about. Andy Q already knew. I think Shiva already knew. I will say, it's going to be so weird. I'm thinking let him go for a couple different reasons. One, it seems relatively minor compared to the vast majority of the many, 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 many things he's already being investigated for. And also, I don't want to have to keep track of another legal proceeding. Just let him go. It's a letter from Jay Leno. If there was anything that damning in it, I haven't seen it. So anyway, he's isn't it funny though that like this is the guy that still tens of millions of Americans believe that he is uniquely qualified to restore America to a position of dominance in world affairs. And he followed up his action cards with selling just letters that people gave to him, like a book of letters. We know that a lot of people in politics, but particularly right-wingers, love to sell books that they wrote. Now they're not even bothering it. He's not even asserting that he wrote these letters. That book should have been published by Hillary Clinton and Jay Leno. If they're the ones doing the actual writing, how does he get to profit off of it? But I also don't think that he should necessarily go to jail for it. Anyway, here's exciting news for any of you watching in the audience today who might be part of the private military corporations supporting the Russian war effort. Vladimir Putin has apparently cut off his private army, that's the Wagner Group, from all ammunition, and when the leaders try to call him, he doesn't even talk to them. This is obviously a more significant version of the thing that I'm going to compare it to, but doesn't it seem like if Trump had found himself in this situation where he invaded a country, thought it was going to be easy, turned out to be difficult, it's like a year-long quagmire, and then he just sends in these people, and he just cuts them off of ammunition. It is so Trump. Like, they are... We throw around, you know, terms like loyalty and that sort of thing when it comes to, like, you know, the goons that serve Donald Trump. But these people are literally being gunned down in massive numbers in Ukraine, and he cut them off. Which isn't just, you know, like a betrayal or whatever, but how long are they going to continue to fight for you if they feel like you have left them, you know, high and dry, that you're not listening to their concerns? First of all, why would they continue fighting? But even if they continued fighting, and bear in mind that we've already seen a lot of war crimes and criminality and all that in the invasion of Ukraine, but can you imagine how bad it's going to get, especially if they think that they're not going to be paid, what they will be doing to make up for that? So anyway, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Chaplain Fred, thank you. That's very nice of you. Appreciate your super chats, everybody. Okay, so let's see. We're at 679 likes. I know I said what I said, but I kind of feel like I should cut y'all off. We'll see. I feel like we have to establish a precedent, honestly. And I know that I made promises, and now I'm turning my back on you, but I learned it from Vladimir Putin. So anyway, we're going to cover a couple more stories, and we'll see what happens with the likes. Okay, so there is no reason for me to discuss this, but I will say that I'm in a weird position when it comes to this movie that's coming out, which apparently is not a good movie. Okay? The movie is 65, and I wouldn't say that I'm like a big Adam Driver fan. Like, I didn't watch Girls. I thought he was perfectly fine in Star Wars, and I think that he's been a good host of SNL or whatever. But I do want more really good movies about dinosaurs, and so it's a little bit distressing that the reviews are terrible. I mean, it's such a weird position to be in as a fan of movies, because when you hear that there's a movie of a guy who goes back in time and now he's stuck and he's shooting a dinosaur in the head, you think, well, that can't be a good movie. But then they get Adam Driver in it, and he makes mostly good stuff, and the trailer looks good, and you're like, you dare to dream. Maybe we could finally have another good series about dinosaurs, but apparently not. Maybe I'll take that up as a challenge. Can there ever be a good movie about dinosaurs again? Or will it always be in the T-Rex-sized shadow of Jurassic Park? Like, can there be a great movie about being stuck on a spaceship with an alien hunting you? Like, these amazing premises. Can it ever be good again? Cocaine Bear is not a replacement. It is not as good. Now, Cocaine Dinosaurs, that's definitely something. What if they accidentally sent back drugs? They sent Crocodile back 65 million years ago. Anyway. Okay, before we get to our main story, and we're at 841, we'll have to see. I don't know, there's 700 of you that are just sitting there, and your like button is just cold and lonely. Never been touched. Anyway, here is something interesting. And again, like with Donald Trump, this is going to put us in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. Obviously, I think most of us can agree that Twitter reeks. It's the worst. It wasn't great before, but it's really bad now. And it's awful. I kind of want it to be fully destroyed because I think that would be hilarious. But it's also very important for a lot of different types of people who do a lot of different types of work and activism. You know, as progressives, it's very important because we don't have the paid media that the right has. Like, we kind of need this stuff. But then it is Twitter and it's under Elon Musk. So here is the potential solution. And you tell me what you think about this as a potential solution. Bath salts leopard, that's funny. Facebook's parent company Meta is reportedly working on a Twitter alternative. While the company would not elaborate, it's a decentralized network of individual users, blah, 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 It sounds a little bit more honestly like Mastodon, almost. I don't know tech-wise how it's going to work. But having Mark Zuckerberg in charge of it, that's better than Elon Musk, right? In some ways? Is it better or worse? Okay, who do you want in charge of your platform? Do you want Musk or Zuckerberg? I think Zuckerberg. I mean, he's terrible. But is he as bad as Musk? You can't say neither, okay? We're not fence sitters here. We pick a side. Everybody's saying neither, okay? I expected more bravery out of all of you. Both suck. They're equally douchey. Neither. These are not answers, okay? In difficult times, people need to take a stand, a moral stand. Musk is easier to manipulate. Yeah, by the right. We need a Dino Crisis movie. That might actually be good. Okay, so it looks like not only does nobody... Well, some people are putting Zuckerberg. Okay, so some people agree with me. Most don't even want to answer. Well, anyway, think about that. Something like a Twitter, I think we do kind of need it. Anyway, we somehow passed 1,000 likes, despite only a little bit of mild threatening behavior on my part. So here's what I want to talk about when it comes to Ron DeSantis. And again, I'm going to ask you a question when it comes to this. So the Washington Post is locking me out on this browser, unfortunately. But the big headline when it comes to Ron DeSantis is that he is now fully running for president in private, according to private conversations he's having. And I saw that and I thought, like, the fact that this has hit so many different outlets at the same time means that this is a thing they set up. They talked to journalists and they said, oh, well, you know, we dispatched these different like allies of his in these different states. And they're all saying that, like, now he's being more open about it. And he's saying he's definitely running and he's setting up this thing and business, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if you want us to see you as being bold, like he desperately wants that when it comes to this, then just launch your run for the presidency. This is being pitched as a big change. And I don't buy it, which is, by the way, why we're not doing this as a full story on the show. It reeks of wanting to have your publicity but not eat another round of meatball Rons from Donald Trump. Because if he formally announced, then it would be all, guns blazing. It's probably going to be all guns blazing anyway, but at least he has some plausible deniability. And this almost reads to me like more of a trial balloon. I mean, the past few months have been a series of trial balloons, but this is supposed to say, no, a lot of you are like debating whether I'm going to run, whether I'm going to wait. No, I'm totally going to, and then looking to see what the reaction is, looking to see what the attacks are. He still, by the way, hasn't shown any willingness or desire or ability to deal with the attacks that have already been levied against him. And by the way, I don't know if you go on Truth Social, but I check Trump's feed every once in a while. It's nonstop attacks against Ron DeSantis now. And it's a mixture of immature name-calling, but also substantive attacks on some of the most important, like, third-rail policies. And Ron DeSantis really has no answer for it. Which puts him in, the same sort of company with, like, Nikki Haley and, Tim Scott and all that. It's a little bit better of a strategy for him because he has more of a built-in fan base. But all of them seem to be wagering that they can just keep their head down and reasonable Republicans will make a reasonable decision. And I just haven't seen any evidence that that's going to happen. So anyway, I guess I just want your feedback. It's everywhere. It's front page Washington Post, front page New York Times. He's totally gonna run, except he's not. Is this a thing that we should have covered on the full show? Like, because it really does feel like manipulation on the part of the campaign. Okay, let me know what you think briefly. Stephmont says, mainly because my Oculus is how I work out since my gym screwed the daycare times. I never actually really tried to work out with my Oculus. Partially because it made me pretty violently ill very quickly. I tried to use their Horizons thing, and I literally never could log in. I tried over and over and over, and it never actually happened. By the way, not only has Ron DeSantis not shown that he's willing to evade the attacks. He's not even doing the minimal preemptive stuff to stop them from happening. He's still wearing those boots everywhere he goes. That is going to become a major liability for him very soon. Anyway, everybody, do you know what's coming even sooner than that? Brett Ehrlich is going to be here. So in just 12 minutes, he'll be here. You're not going to want to miss it. You got time to go, toast yourself a little bit of maybe a sandwich, a breakfast sandwich or something. Make some eggs, get some coffee, and get ready. Because we're going to be throwing away our garbage people of the week in just a few. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you in a bit.